Welcome to No Apologies on Beck, where we are unafraid to speak the truth. I am your host, Rick Becker, our co-host, Lori Hintz.
Hello there.
And it's going to be another fine show tonight,
Yes, we've
Lori.
got some interesting stuff for you.
No vest for me tonight.
No, not quite as
So I'm not all
dapper,
business like I was last night.
So it could get a little silly. I'm just going to say that's what happens when you're not all buttoned up like that.
We have a repeat guest, the wonderful, what's the adjective I want to use? Gregarious. Gregarious Representative Jason Dockter is with us again tonight. We're going to be talking with him for a couple of segments on a few things. And I think we have executive orders, but first.
Yeah, we are going to start with where's Waldo? I mean Biden. Where's Biden? And where is he? And where is... It's not like Waldo where you're looking for the guy with the stripy shirt and the hat. Not exactly the same thing, but it is unusual that our president, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., yeah, we're memorizing his name, is just missing in action for some reason. So he has an unusual start to his administration in that he has not done a single press conference, which is really weird because it's over 50 days now. And I think if I calculated it right from the articles that we've been looking at, it's like 57 days and he has not done anything. And what's interesting about it to me is the fact that not only are the conservative people bringing it up, but even some of the regular networks are like the ABCs and CBSs and CNNs are actually noticing that he's not doing anything either. I've got a clip to prove that.
President Biden has been in office for 54 days, but he has yet to hold a formal press conference. That is the longest wait in a century. To put this in perspective, by day 50, Bill Clinton had given 5 news conferences, George W. Bush held 3, Barack Obama 2, and Donald Trump 5. Now, 0 pressers might be preferable to 5 Trump pressers that were jam-packed with lies and propaganda. But why are those the only options given to Americans by the 2 most recent administrations? It is not that Biden is avoiding the media. During his COVID relief roadshow this week, he's expected to interview with local outlets, and he'll reportedly sit down with ABC's George Stephanopoulos, while Vice President Harris will appear on CBS. But why hasn't he carved out some time to answer some tough questions for multiple reporters live about the COVID relief package or school openings or the immigration surge at the border? Here's what his deputy press secretary said about it earlier today.
He will be doing a press conference that will happen, but I do want to add, Alex, this is a president when, he's doing an event and reporters shout questions at him. He answers them. Yeah. He's answered, close to 40, if not more than 40 questions that have been shouted at him by reporters. So he is having those conversations. A press conference for sure is coming.
For the record, the administration previously said Biden is too focused on multiple crises to hold a press briefing. And of course, he is busy. But if he has enough time to crisscross the country selling a bill that he already signed into law, it is fair to ask why he hasn't had enough time to stand at that podium and take reporters' questions.
So even CNN is questioning why he's not doing that. And my favorite part of that whole clip is the excuses made for him one after another. Well, he's answered 40 questions, at least 40 questions.
40 questions that were shouted at him.
Right?
Yeah.
It is so funny to me. That whole thing was very comedy gold to me because I'm sitting here going, well, don't get me wrong. He's obviously very busy. I mean, the excuses came one after another
Well, previously,
by the press.
The Obama administration had claimed that they were going to be the most transparent administration ever, and they turned out to be really the least accessible, at least in the modern era. And Biden is beating him.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, it's really, really unusual. So 57 days and 0 press conferences, and you have to kind of ask why. I mean, why would he want to avoid that? Is there a reason for that? You can, make your own surmise.
One of the things that strikes me most about this is that, let's say, for instance, he is embroiled with the various activities, which, whatever.
He did 56 executive orders, and so I'm sure he's read all of those.
Those were all pre-written for him before he even took office. But what I'm getting at is the number one concern when Biden was on the campaign trail, and since that time, has been his mental fitness.
Right.
So if he is in fact mentally intact, the number one thing his handlers would want to do, the number one thing his communications team would want to do is get him out there to show the nation that he is completely fit, that he is not entering a period of senility, frankly.
A mental decline of any sort.
Absolutely, some type of dementia.
Right.
And instead, they're lending more credence to it. Why, in the face of that, would you not do the thing that would counter that criticism?
It's really interesting.
Shocking.
Now, he also has not done a State of the Union. Now, you don't have to do a State of the Union as a president. You have an option. It is courtesy. It is tradition. It's normal to do it. He hasn't done a State of the Union either, and a lot of people have asked questions about that as well. Okay, why is he not doing a State of the Union? Well, you look at it, it's a long period of time, at least 90 minutes of standing in front of everyone, and it's possible that his age is just taking a toll and he can't physically do an hour and a half of anything at this point. I mean, he's probably napping at that time.
One of the big things is, again, if we go back to the possibility of dementia, I would like to be proven wrong. I don't know, but there's a very strong sundowners effect. And so the mental decline or the agility really decreases as you wear on into the day, and certainly as you hit 9 o'clock at night, when he would supposedly be expected to stand for 90 minutes and give an off-the-cuff, if you will, or at least not on teleprompter speech to a live audience.
Right.
I don't think he has that
capacity. Yeah, I agree. There was a kind of a fit and start with this one. The AP and PBS both got wind that the address the State of the Union was supposed to be given on February 23rd and said so in posts that are now like gone. But that, of course, didn't happen. Then on February 16th, Jen Psaki denied that such a plan was in place in a press conference and said, nope, we're not doing a State of the Union. I'm like, okay, so they at some point must have planned one. Then the other thing another Where's Waldo moment that gets me is the Rose Garden event. He did a 20-minute Rose Garden event with Pelosi and Schumer, and then this really weird video surfaced. I'm going to let you be your own judge when you see this.
Okay, guys, it's 2:34 p.m. This is the Rose Garden. This is 15th Street. Guys, that's the Oval Office right there. They're saying there's people in there right now talking about the relief bill. Look at this. No activity. Nothing. Zero. But they're saying there's a ceremony going on in the Rose Garden right now. I don't think there is, guys. They're saying this is live right now. At the Rose Garden, guys. There should be security at the White House. There should be things happening. There should be security. Look at this. There's no security. There's no security, guys. You got landscapers. You got people just hanging. So you tell me, guys. This is the Rose Garden. This is the South Lawn. The Rose Garden is right in that corner. They're saying they're outside there right now. I'm telling you. Lived here my whole life, 40 years, guys. Okay? This is the World War I memorial being built. This is March 12th. It's 12:35, 12:36 p.m., something like that. This is the White House, guys. No one on the roof. Nothing happening. They're saying right now as I speak, that's the Oval Office right there, guys. That's the Rose Garden right there. You're telling me we can't see any security? We can't see anything? Look at this. Lollygagging. Okay, guys? You know? There's the Rose Garden. That's where they say they are right now. Let me show you again. Climb back into the window. Right here, guys. Here's Nancy. So you're watching in real time with me, guys.
Our chairs were dazzling, and their own work.
You be the judge. Here we go. The great patriot put us up in this room. So we're seeing what's going on here. So here you go. Washington Monument. Lincoln Memorial. Black Lives Matter Plaza. Rose Garden.
I don't know what to make of that. It's possible that they taped it in advance when he was having a good cognitive day, and then they just replayed it so that he was having it. Because when you have, we have in my family a family member who has had not one Parkinson's, but one Alzheimer's. So, and what happens is you tend to have good days and you have bad days. Yeah. And so what you can do with that video is you can tape it in advance on a good day so that you've got good optics, and then on a not so good day, air it. That's the only explanation I have for that. And I have been in that hotel where he is shooting that. I have looked that exact way across to the White House to the South Lawn, and he's at the Willard, obviously, right there. That's where I've stayed. And so if I hadn't already seen that myself, I would probably have poo-pooed the whole thing.
So you're suggesting that Biden was at the Rose Garden at a previous time?
The lighting is even different. If you look at the people on this TV screen, you've got light there from sunshine, and it's more of an overcast day on the video. So to me, it doesn't match up at all with what he's seeing in real time. And what I'm just curious,
okay.
you'd be the judge.
I think it's interesting. I'm less prone to conspiracy.
Yep.
But
I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think it just makes perfect sense for optics for them to do it on a day that it's sunny and a day that he's having a good day. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Just putting it out there.
All right. We got the inside scoop. Next up, we are going to be talking with Representative Jason Dockter. Hang with us.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Hi, I'm Dennis Haugen, along with my sons Andy and Mike, and we're showing our support for wind energy in North Dakota.
Wind energy has provided farmers like us with a steady stream of income that's not tied to the weather like crops and cattle are.
Another bonus is that wind farm owners are required to maintain the roads leading up to the turbines. Because of that, oftentimes these roads are the best in the county. Wind energy is good for landowners, it's good for the land, it's good for our economy, and it's good for North Dakota.
There's nothing more important than family. And at Prairie Rose Family Dentists, we get it. That's why we have more locations, more dentists, specialists, extended hours, pediatric clinics, and even emergency appointments, so you can always be seen. Book your appointment today at prairierosedentist.com. Prairie Rose Family Dentists. We are family.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
Pub 21, your one stop for fun, drinks, and food. Our spacious facility provides COVID-safe fun for you and all your friends. With nightly bingo and specials, you can be sure there's something to do for everyone. If you're staying in for the night, we've got you covered just across the way with Pub 21 Liquor. We have a wide variety of options, from wine to whiskey and everything in between. Stop in today at 1014 South 12th Street in Bismarck to see what all the buzz is about. You won't be disappointed.
Welcome back to No Apologies on Beck. We are here with Representative Jason, Dr. Jason, thanks for being back.
Thank you.
It's a very brave move to come back on. The last time we were talking about things like marijuana. Not very, what else did we talk about?
Seatbelt law or something, I think.
No,
Maybe did we
I
talk
don't know. But I think it was mostly an agreement. I don't know. Oh yeah, you brought up we're like fire and ice, I think.
Yes.
That's what the legislators were joking about the day after. I still don't know who's fire, but I'm guessing you are because it sounds better.
Well, you did call him gregarious. I mean, you called him gregarious.
He is gregarious. He's also affable, amiable.
And wildly popular.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And so, what we're going to talk about, Jason, is, yeah, nice sweatshirt, by the way, North Dakota Champions Club. Oh, pay a little moolah and you get all the
Yeah, then you get
special
some free
stuff.
that you pay.
Okay, well, one day I hope to be able to do that. So what we're looking at is a bill which I believe Jason and I are going to disagree vehemently on, and that is Senate Bill 2139, of which you have the audacity, Representative Dockter, to be one of the co-sponsors. Let's pull up the graphic. So this is going to create a neighborhood zone project, and what we're talking about is a part of the Century Code, a part of law that is like Renaissance zone. So Renaissance zone is an area typically in downtowns where businesses that purchase or rehab or do whatever can qualify for income tax breaks and property tax abatements. Now this very creative little bit of legislation means that the city can also say, hey, we're going to do kind of some random 25 additional blocks that if you live there, if you buy property there, you do anything, you also get income tax breaks and property tax abatement. So my concern is the same as it was for Renaissance zone. In my mind, the income tax shouldn't be part of it because if people aren't paying income tax, that means others are footing the bill in the state. And people in Tioga should not be paying for me to not have to pay my property taxes. They're picking up the slack. As far as, I'm sorry, income taxes. Did I say property?
Yep.
Income taxes. People should not have to pay their income taxes to pick up my slack. When it comes to property taxes, I think that's something that should be left to the cities and counties. And if people in those municipalities like it, great. If they don't, then they should vote the fools out. This makes it statewide and keeps it uniform and really just keeps it going on and on and on. So, Jason, aside from the fact that you like these policies which are picking winners and losers and the government doing that and having all that power, what else about this do you like?
Well,
What a setup.
I'll just go on the record to say I am just a co-sponsor.
Okay.
But no, one of the reasons why I did sign on to the bill is, especially like you see in Bismarck and other areas, you see these neighborhoods, they have neighborhoods grow, they have elementary schools, and then we start growing, expanding, the elementary schools go away, then those neighborhoods tend decline. And so I thought this was a good idea, good concept. I guess if I had too many bills I already had that I was putting in, I would like to see actually the cities loosen their restrictions on codes. Because these houses are built in the 30s and 40s. There's no way you can have hallway or stairways be 32 inches. They're only be 24, and to give some of those. But this is a start. But the credit, and I know we disagree on giving away these credits. But something needs to be done because there's certain parts of the major cities like Fargo, Bismarck, Grand Forks that we have to do something. Because I know growing up in Bismarck, some of the neighborhoods that my friends lived in, their parents were one owner, and now they've either passed away or they've gone to a nursing home. All those houses in the neighborhoods are all rental properties because no one wants to live in those houses as a starter home. So I think this is the intention of this bill. As you know, it's an idea. We all have ideas. I know, Representative Becker, I know you put a lot of ideas out there as well. Yep. And some make it, some don't. But
my ideas usually actually save the taxpayers' money, though, as opposed to yours. But that's okay. Now, tell me, Jason, and I'll maybe stop joking around a little bit. But what is the downside to these neighborhoods being a higher percentage of rentals? I mean, what is that bad?
Well, in some aspect, you look at, there are people, though I do have friends that have parents that still live in those neighborhoods, and when they become rentals, they make comments to me, 6, 8 cars drive up, back and forth at one house, and then the next house has 6 or 8 cars. It doesn't become a neighborhood feel anymore. It's more like of a rental district. And so it takes away, so, you can see both sides. Yeah, as far as the rental, we need rental homes, but it does take away from the neighborhood, and so it's just going to be more and more of a problem. As you see in the city of Bismarck, we grow to the northwest, the northeast, the areas around like Bismarck High and the Capitol. It's just going to continue. The homes are older, and
so the home in this case, and so I'm just we'll take it a step further. The homes are older; they don't have as much value. They're not being rehabbed up significantly because of the costs with regard to codes and other things. And so an owner can ask only a limited amount in rent. So it's going to be low-income people that are going to be in that area. Now we convert it to this type of idea. So the wealthy people are saying, hey man, I'm going to buy up some properties because I get all these tax breaks. I can practically completely renovate this house for free with all my tax gimmies, and then I can sell it for and make a profit. So that does raise the value. Now you can ask increased rents. Now you can get people that can pay higher rents. Where did the people go that could only afford lower rents? Aren't you just going in and trying to get your dirty little hands in as a government official to determine which neighborhoods you want to be nice and where you're going to try and keep low-income people out?
And how do you decide on what's going to get which neighborhood is going to get the break?
Well, I think as it states in the bill, they have to be pre-1959, I believe, the house, the age. And I'm not going to argue on that because, again, I'm a co-sponsor. Yeah. But the concept, if this isn't the bill or the vehicle, something needs to be studied, though, to see what we do with these neighborhoods, because the problems only get worse. My kids, we have young kids that are looking for first-time home buyer. They're not going to look at homes like this anymore. They want a 3-stall garage. They want everything right away, where we all worked
our way up. Starter homes. Right.
And so we are going to have a problem. It will need to be addressed. So, I sign, as you know, I sign on to many, many bills. I probably sign on more.
That's one of the downsides to being so likable, is that a lot of people ask you to sign on bills.
Yeah, and I can't say no.
So popular.
Yeah, so between, I can't say no.
So you're a soft yes on this.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but looking at, something needs to be, maybe, if it doesn't pass, maybe put into a study, see what we can do for these neighborhoods. And one of the elementary schools in town actually got converted to a church, which was good. But then there's a downside, on that. But it's still a nonprofit, so we're not getting, tax dollars, because we have an issue in Bismarck with about 48% of our properties are tax exempt through schools,
state properties,
churches, state, and everything. So we have a major issue, especially in Bismarck, with property tax.
And then those businesses have to take up the slack around them also.
Correct. We pay high taxes as far as commercial buildings we take up.
That's true. Well, folks, if you're wealthy and you don't know what to do with all your money, if this bill passes, just start scooping up properties in these poorer neighborhoods, and you can renovate them for free practically on the backs of the other taxpayers. Sell them for a profit. I give it a 2 thumbs up. We will be back with more with Representative Jason Dockter shortly. Hang with us.
That was awesome.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
Beck Communications is now hiring independent sales agents around the state. We're looking for highly motivated individuals to take advantage of this opportunity, selling advertising for our news and sports programming on Beck TV and sponsorships for the Bismarck Bucks indoor football team. Independent sales agents will make 50% commission on their completed sales for all products. Beck TV is the leader in broadcasting local sports, owner of the Bismarck Bucks indoor football team, and originator of newly launched news opinion programming. Submit your application now at careers@bechtel.coop. This is an exciting opportunity you can't pass up. 50% commission for independent sales agents now hiring at Beck Communications.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. When you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Ever been in a cave before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the car!
How will we?
The car! Your offer has been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing.
But how will we?
The closing!
Every great pizza has a secret. At New York To Go, that secret lies in our perfectly recreated New York water, the key ingredient to making our signature New York-style pizza. We also feature gyros, with the region's only gyro meat spit, plus Nathan's hot dogs, calzones, and our delicious jumbo buffalo wings. Try a 14-inch or our special giant 20-inch pizza tonight. You gotta know how to fold them if you want to hold them. New York To Go, we deliver for you.
Welcome back. No apologies on Beck. I would say this is your after-hours oasis of sanity. I think I'm correct on that. Lori, would you agree with that?
I would totally agree.
Okay. Jason, thanks for hanging with us.
Yes.
You know everything is meant in good spirit.
Oh yeah. There's nothing's personal in politics.
No.
You guys are pretty close because you're in the same district and you have the same job in the same district. So
And he sits right behind me.
Right.
Yeah. I always have to hide my stuff on my screen.
Like, don't let him see what you're doing here. Got it.
All right.
Secret.
So, Jason, I just wanted to go through a few things. I told Lori to think of maybe a couple of questions. Just thought it'd be free-flowing.
Okay.
You ready
Sounds
to free
good.
flow?
Yep. We're loose. Yep.
Loose as a goose. Okay. Primary seatbelt laws coming over from the Senate, passed over there. How do you feel about the primary seatbelt law?
I've always voted against it, and I will again. It's personal choice. I personally wear my seatbelt, but I don't think the government has the right to tell a person if they want to wear it or not. And they've done surveys for years and years, and it's always 60-65% wear their seatbelt consistently, and the other percentage, they just don't. I mean, it's no different than when you talk about smoking. The same population percentage smoke, the same do not, and they know they know the risks for smoking, and just like seatbelts.
Yeah.
And
well, that is a correct answer. Very good.
You're grading him a check.
Yeah, well, there's a right answer and there's wrong answer. I mean, I didn't make it that way. That's the way it is. Yes. Gas tax hike. We had a 3-cent tax hike. They were looking originally for a 6-cent gas hike. What do you? Let me rephrase it, because a lot of people feel that the gas tax is fair because you're using the roads. It's basically a consumption tax or a user fee type of thing, which I agree with. In light of the fact that there was no offsetting tax cut to compensate so that it would at least be neutral for the taxpayer.
Right.
I'm giving you an easy one. So are you in favor of raising the gas tax?
Yeah, I actually carried the bill. Yeah, and actually the bill that came out of the House was 3 cents. And if you look at the stats, 40% of the gas tax is actually actually comes from out of state, then from in-state are actually paying for the roads. Infrastructure that needs, we always have those bridges, roads, and that's what makes America far superior over any other industrial country, is our commerce system, and that's with our infrastructure. And so I always feel, 3 cents, and I always laugh when you see people on TV, they have a $150,000 motorhome, and they say, oh, gas prices went up 50 cents, I just can't take my motorhome. And I'm like, if you can afford a $150,000 motorhome, you should be able to afford a little bit more in gas.
Maybe they were penny pinchers and saving on gas, and that's how they got to afford their motorhome, though.
Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah, that sounds good.
I know a lot of very, very frugal people who. All right, sorry. Anyway.
Yes. Okay. Well, that was a good answer, albeit a wrong answer. Okay. All right. Bonding, borrowing from the future, even though it's future legacy fund earnings. Are you in favor of the bonding that we're looking at doing for infrastructure, primarily the water projects?
Yes, I am. With the interest rates right now, it's very inexpensive to do the bonding. They had bonding at $1.2 billion. I was not in favor of that, but I was in favor of roughly $500 to $600 million, because just like a business, you're seeing people out here expanding, doing more investments with their businesses. Well, one of the reasons why they are is the interest rates are low, and so I think the state, we have an opportunity to take an advantage at this time with the low interest rates. But with that being said, and I know, Rick, your side would be, well, why are we borrowing if we have the money? Otherwise, make cuts in the budget, so then we have enough money, so we don't have to bond.
Correct.
Is that?
That's definitely my.
We've been
take.
around each other a lot.
What,
a little
bit. And I know what you're saying, and Representative LaFour and others said the same with regard to this is a great time to borrow if you're going to borrow. The problem is we're not a business where we're borrowing and we're assessing what our future needs are and capitalizing it out and so forth. We are borrowing from future legislatures and future North Dakota citizens. That's where we're borrowing. The money that would be coming in from legacy fund earnings would be going to those people, just like it's coming to us now. Except we're spending what we're getting now, plus what we're spending what they're going to be getting. That's the problem I have with it.
Yeah, and that's the argument why you'd be against the bonding. And I see both sides, but I just think the needs that we have, I think bonding is the way to go at a smaller version than what was originally proposed.
Okay. Well, you're batting .330. Are you familiar
I'd
with...
be in the Hall of Fame, wouldn't I?
Pretty close. That's
okay.
not bad.
Sounds
good. The intermodal system up in Minot. Are you familiar with that one at all?
No, not...
I got alerted to it. It was over in the Senate. It's coming to the House. We're going to start hearing about it. But it's a... so I guess I can't ask your comment too much, but it's a $10 bailout for the banks who are holding assets for a failed venture.
Is it 10 million?
8 million.
8 million
between 8 and 9 million,
yep.
and then the 2 million is to do additional railway infrastructure. I guess it would be unfair for me to ask you about that.
I've got a question,
okay.
though. I've got one. I was looking at bills that you were carrying, and I found one called House Bill 1075, and this one was I don't know if you're going to remember this one because you've got so many that you're doing at the same time. But this particular one is related to school district calendar limitations. Does that ring a bell for you at all?
It's a repeal.
Yes.
So I thought that was really interesting. So it looks like it went and it came from Legislative Council. Do you want to explain exactly what that bill actually does and why the legislature would have anything to do with high school or grade school calendars?
Okay, how that started is I'm a football official.
Got it.
Been officiating for 28 years. And under current law, they used to have teachers' conferences, and now they call it administrative conferences.
Right.
So sport teams, music, band, any extracurricular cannot play on that Thursday or Friday after teachers' convention, which is that Wednesday night.
Right.
So the Thursday and Friday. Well, what's happened the last 2 years, I do scheduling for football. 1 year, we had a major storm come through Bismarck. On that Wednesday night, we had to cancel the games till Saturday because they couldn't play Thursday or Friday. They could have played, but because of the law. And then Century had to come back and play Monday, a football game. Well, then fast forward to 2020, the fall, COVID hit. Same thing. Team came down with COVID. They had to wait and play. And the thing is, it's not required anymore for teachers to go to this conference. So why not allow student athletes or people in extracurricular to be able to have their activities on that Thursday and Friday after teachers convention? So it's been in the law for like 50, 60 years. So I looked at it as a football official. I'm looking at it like, well, why can't they do this? They're already, most teachers don't go to these conferences anyway, and so that's why I brought the bill up. It was kind of a quirky thing, but I knew what was going on just being involved in officiating. So.
Got it. So the statute now says, and apparently the teachers don't go to the conferences anymore, or they are not required to go to them?
They're not required. Before, they used to be required, and they have that, so they get that Thursday and Friday. So most people would take a vacation with their kids.
Right, and do the long weekend.
Because it's the third Thursday and Friday of October of every year.
Yep.
And so now it's not required. Now they have more of administrative and, as Rick would know. Yeah, and the unions used to require, basically as a requirement. We changed that. The legislature did several sessions ago. And so now there's no need for them not to allow, someone to have a speech tournament.
I looked at it and I just didn't understand it, so that makes perfect sense.
So Lori gave you a softball to bring you up to batting 500.
50-50.
Batting 500.
Yes. Yes.
Last question: Are you interested in playing Texas Hold'em next week?
Yes, I am. I have a poker face naturally, so yeah. Why not? I'm Vegas. I mean, I'm on every gaming bill, so.
Yes, that's true. You are. All right, Jason, appreciate having you.
Okay,
Thanks so much for putting up with us.
Yes.
Folks, we're going to be right back with Mailbag.
Howdy, folks. It's a Line Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our Hey Bossin' breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at a salad bar. Sink your teeth into our famous Line burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spur rattling pie with a calm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the game. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the County Line.
Since opening in Hebron in 1940, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your hometown bank. Our mission has been to provide modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. We've grown with the communities we serve through year-round events, countless sponsorships, and nearly 7,000 hours of volunteering each year. Learn more about our 80-year history at dakotacommunitybank.com.
Respect, innovation, trust, and excellence. These core values can be seen in every building built by Straightway Construction. In the community for over 15 years, Straightway Construction has become the premier construction company for commercial projects. From dirt to design and framing to finish, Straightway Construction is your #1 choice. You won't have to look far to find a project that has that Straightway touch. Call them today or go online to straightwayconstruction.com and let them make your vision a reality.
Jeez, what a mess. Look at that. There's roof stuff everywhere. It's so embarrassing. Ruins the neighborhood. Come on, humans. Let's get this fixed.
Don't let your roof go to the dogs. Call America's Best Contractors for your free estimate.
Need a new woof?
After checking with the rest, go with the best. America's Best Contractors. 258-2412. Online at americasbestcontractorsincorporated.com.
When you can't find answers to your recurring health challenges, it can feel like your health and your future are being held hostage. The Wellness Way is a network of health restoration clinics that think and act differently to solve the health challenges others can't. Here, we disrupt the standard approach to care through a combination of testing, individual plans, and one-on-one guidance, putting your health and your future where they belong, in your own hands.
Welcome back to No Apologies on Beck Up
All
Time.
the funny stuff actually happens in the breaks, just so you know. If you come back and we're laughing,
Not all the funny stuff.
well,
but
not all the funny stuff, but a good portion of it. Okay, so we are going to delve back into our mailbag. We've been getting a good amount of really good feedback and interesting stuff on some of these. So let's start right away with the very first one, where we're talking about COVID vaccines are probably safe, and so we've got some really interesting replies to this. Also, has anyone confirmed if life insurance is voided if death were to occur after taking an experimental vaccine? That's a good question. I know that vaccines have an exemption, but this is not necessarily a vaccine. It's more of an experimental biological agent rather than a vaccine. So that's a good question. mRNA is not a vaccine. It is a gene therapy. That's another name for it.
You could arguably say
We
that
have
that's
very
true.
intelligent viewers. We
Yeah.
just do. Okay. The next one here is, you want to take this one?
Sure. COVID-19 vaccines designed to elicit neutralizing antibodies may sensitize vaccine recipients to more severe disease than if they were not vaccinated. Vaccines for SARS, MERS, RSV have never been approved, and the data generated in the development and testing of these vaccines suggest a serious mechanistic concern that vaccines design. Oh my gosh, this is all one.
I know, right?
Okay, so, well, what they're saying basically is that, for instance, SARS and MERS, like we've talked about those before, and even RSV, they're right. I mean, vaccines haven't been developed, and they did a completely new type of thing, and we've talked about that, and with viral vectors and so forth. It's an interesting thing, and that's why I say they're probably safe. I mean, you know, I've mentioned before, I didn't tell my parents to not get it because it's probably safe, and COVID, if they had gotten COVID, has had a significant, so they're probably safe, but you know, we won't know for 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
So,
all right, well, we're going to move on to the next one. This one is another one on this. I'm sorry, Rick, but I have to disagree there. You said they could just get COVID and it could go. So these are more answers to that same query, essentially. I think that this is really interesting as we go here, because people are all over the board with this, but a lot of people are really pretty polarized about the whole vaccine issue, and it kind of bears out in some of these answers. You said they could get COVID and it could cause them to die. Well, also the shot could cause them to die. There have been many deaths, prayers.
Sure. And they're I mean, again, they're referring to what I was just talking about. For instance, my parents, I think, was what elicited this.
Right.
But if you look at someone who is advanced in age and has other factors, they are much more likely to die, as far as we know so far, from getting COVID than they are from getting the vaccine.
Right.
Yes, for all comers, especially for young, healthy people, it is extraordinarily unlikely to die from that. But
my folks, actually, we had this conversation this weekend, and they are in their 70s and 80s, and they decided, you know what, we have a better chance with COVID at 99% or so, probably, or you know, even in 90 range than we would if we had the vaccine. So they declined to get the vaccine as well. So that was just my folks. So, all right, we're going to go to this next one. Now, this next one says, I am immunocompromised from 5+ years of cancer treatments. I am 65, got my first vaccine a month ago, had bad headaches and joint pain for 2.5 days, had to wait 4 weeks for shot number 2. I debated it. My wife and so many others said I really should get the second shot. Got it last Friday about 11 a.m. By 5 p.m., the headache was back, this time stronger, losing vision in my left eye. By Saturday morning, my temperature was 101.9, headache and now joint pain at a 10. Temp went up to 103. Sunday morning, fever went back down to 101. Headache was still at a 10 this morning. Tuesday, headache and joint pain finally got better, but late this afternoon, it came back around pain level about 7. So in order to keep me from possibly getting sick, I got the shots in the last month, this vaccine. Made me feel miserable for about 6 days total. If they tell me I will need a booster in the future, it won't happen. So, and then another person writes back and says, well, I'm sorry this happened to you. Have you been able to report it to the VAERS, VAERS, which is the site where you can do vaccine injuries? If not, there are people who can help you report it. I hope you recover quickly. And our people are very kind.
all right, next up, thanks so much for your show. I was going to mention yesterday when I met you at the Capitol, this is, I remember this person. that I have been a Rush listener forever. During this crazy year, he was the news I trusted. Now, with the crazy year in North Dakota, your news show is the one I go to and trust. Thank you both, Rick and Lori, for telling us the truth. God bless, and hang in there. The people are rising up.
Wow.
Yes, they are.
That is about the nicest compliment you can do if you're putting us in even close proximity to Rush Limbaugh. That is very, very kind. So thank you, dear viewer. All right, this next one. Need to snap out of your Monday grogginess. If you remember, you did this. You threw the pen at the camera. Watch Rick throw his pen at the camera and demand that Oreo employees be fired. And then we have very clever viewers. I'm sorry, Oreo. I can't stay mad at you forever. I only yell because I care. And the next person says, corporate America is part of the American problem. Ridiculous. They're referring to the Oreo tweet that we featured on this program. And then we have one final one. This is, did Representative Roars Jones make a valid point, or did she throw her colleagues under the bus? We are referring to the video that we played on a previous show as well, where she named the people that she accused of essentially of being vote flippers during the vote for Luke Simon's ouster. Threw her colleagues under the bus, this one, she's the worst, under the bus. She and Joel tried to make those who wanted the proper process followed to look like flip-flopped or abuser lovers. They were neither, and Simons isn't an abuser either. And then the next person says, well, if you're talking about her interview with Heidkamp you aired on your show, she sure did. That's how Democrats roll. They destroy, and then they are proud of it, and then pat themselves on the back. Absolutely. Question?
Oh, no.
You're just letting me go here? Absolutely pathetic. Simons was the beginning. They aren't going to stop with him either. Roars Jones just proved that. She's scum. Those who gave valid points stood for procedure.
Okay.
People are angry.
They're angry. So, next up, folks, we're going to be talking about executive order from Joseph Robinette Jr., Biden Jr.,
yeah,
JR. We're going to talk about JR's EOs.
We'll be right back.
There's nothing more important than family. And at Prairie Rose Family Dentists, we get it. That's why we have more locations, more dentists, specialists, extended hours, pediatric clinics, and even emergency appointments, so you can always be seen. Book your appointment today at prairierosedentist.com. Prairie Rose Family Dentists. We are family.
Deciding how to promote your business can be hard. Visit the professionals at Dakota Promotions and Printing and let them help you through your struggle. Dakota Promotions provides promotional items and apparel from corporate gifts to team shirts and everything in between. With quick turnaround times and friendly service, they are your best choice. And best yet, you're shopping local. Visit them online at dakotapromo.com or stop in their showroom at 320 West Main in Mandan. Dakota Promotions, delivering promotions just for you.
Every great pizza has a secret. At New York To Go, that secret lies in our perfectly recreated New York water, the key ingredient to making our signature New York-style pizza. We also feature gyros, with the region's only gyro meat spit, plus Nathan's hot dogs, calzones, and our delicious jumbo buffalo wings. Try a 14-inch or our special giant 20-inch pizza tonight. You gotta know how to fold them if you want to hold them. New York To Go, we deliver for you.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Now is the best time to plan for your 2021 farm equipment needs. North Dakota-based Summers Manufacturing is currently offering early order savings. Take advantage of big savings on North America's broadest tillage line, including the Super Kohler Samurai and the innovative BRT Renegade, as well as the best built, best backed land rollers in the industry. Talk to your Summers dealer today or go to summersmfg.com to learn more about early order savings available on all Summers equipment.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. It's No Apologies on Beck. You have made it to the fifth and final segment for tonight. Again, congratulations to our viewers. You did well.
Thanks for hanging in there.
So we are talking about JR's EOs.
It's ooh, that's good. A little.
Yeah, I slipped in it before, but no one
caught it.
No one patted me on the back for something that was really witty.
JREOs. Okay, Joseph Robinette executive orders. Okay, got it. Okay, so we have done this many, many times. We have gone through these executive orders. We're on number 38 of apparently 56 executive orders that this gentleman has put forth. This one is on restoring trust in government, memorandum on restoring trust in government through scientific integrity and evidence-based policy making.
Now here, this one, I want to just say a little something about. We have a short amount of time in this segment because we had so much fun with Representative Dockter. But yeah, I'm going to say it again. Restoring trust in government through scientific integrity and evidence-based policy making. Folks, this one is truly, truly frightening. They all are, I guess. But what you're looking at here is government, is politics, getting its nose into the entire scientific process and determining what is going to have scientific integrity, meaning what do they believe fits the narrative and what are they going to determine is valid versus what's not valid, what is called science versus what's not science. It's all the way through here.
It's arbitrary. I mean, they can pick and choose what their science is.
This is yet another example of walking down that path to fascism. Government going hand in hand and controlling the scientific narrative.
You will believe what we tell you to believe.
Is unbelievable.
Right,
so I wanted to give that
one.
foundation as we go through some of these graphics.
Yeah, because it's so true. The Task Force on Scientific Integrity shall ensure its review considers whether existing federal scientific integrity policies support scientists and researchers of all genders, races, ethnicities, and backgrounds, and advance the equitable delivery of the federal government programs. Is it just me? Do I feel like I am a broken record saying the exact same words for every single one of these 56 EOs? Anyway. So it's because you've got every single time they're throwing in there races, ethnicities. Every single time you've got equitable, and then it's in every single one. It's astounding to me.
Right. Let's hit the next one. The task force shall identify effective practices regarding engagement of federal scientists. Federal scientists.
Think about that for just a moment.
As well as contractors working on scientific matters for agencies, with news media and on social media.
Wow.
Effective approaches for handling any disagreements about scientific methods and conclusions. So, again,
just read between the lines, people.
The government is going to determine who is doing proper science. So, an obvious example is climate, right? Climate change. You've got a bunch of scientists that are saying, yes, humans are causing it, and you've got scientists that are saying it's not. This is going to give validation to the idea that they can say what is science and what is not.
Exactly. Let's go to the next one here. Develop and publish procedures as appropriate and consistent with applicable law for implementing the agency's scientific integrity policy, including establishing and publishing an administrative process for reporting, investigating, and appealing allegations of deviations from the agency's policy, and for resolving any disputes or disagreements about scientific methods and conclusions. Again, we know what's best for you. Just follow us because we're going to tell you who's right and who's wrong. It is. You're right. This is kind of scary. Not going to lie.
Educate agency employees as well as contractors who perform scientific activities for the agency on their rights and responsibilities related to scientific integrity, including by conducting routine training on the agency's scientific integrity policy for all employees. Yada, yada, yada. One of the things that I believe is, it's going to be in some of our graphics, but it's all throughout his executive order. and it talks about the improper political interference.
Right.
And it keeps saying that over and over and over, as opposed to there will be no political interference. They keep referencing there will be no and should be no improper political interference. So again, when you have to think of the leftist frame of mind, for them to do to whatever is necessary, involve politics to get the narrative out that they believe is the right thing,
correct,
they will completely forego all scientific method, all integrity regarding scientific validity, and just push it. And so improper political interference.
Okay, so this next one, we've got two left here. Publish an annual report on the agency's website that includes the number of administrative investigations and appeals involving alleged deviations from this agency's scientific integrity policies.
Now this one is, they're going to be calling people out.
Yep.
They're going to be coercing people by saying, hey, listen, you don't want to don't make me make it public
right.
that you disagreed with what we said you should find.
And here's the kicker. This is the final one. Because science. They actually say right in there, because science. Facts and evidence are vital to addressing policy and programmatic issues across the federal government. The heads of all agencies shall designate expeditiously a senior career employee as the agency's lead scientific integrity official.
Right.
So that's the lead censor guy.
So career bureaucrats, the POSs in Washington Swamp are in charge of science. Thank you, JR.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, next time, join us. We will have somebody who's new to No Apologies. We have a new legislator who's never been on with us before,
Yes,
so join
we
us
do.
next time for that tomorrow. Bye.